welcome from Fralins and Friends. Today we're the black sweater team. Who knows how many others? It's probably got a bunch of nests up in there. Might be why we've got a little bit of a squirrel city around here.
Could be.
Oh.
I just yawned and you missed it.
No, I didn't miss it. I just decided I'd already acknowledged two of them. Oh. You wonder how you keep yourself entertained after the kids are gone and all that. This is how. You argue with your spouse in a fun way. You become Ma and Pa Walton. Oh man.
Oh man. Oh woman.
So that was another thing from the 60s and 70s. Everybody was my old lady, my old man. That was your spouse or the person that you were with. That's what they called it. It's like, now it just sounds terrible. I gotta get home to my old lady. Everybody understood it then. These days,
No, they still say it.
yeah, people from our generation. I don't know if there goes a kid. Yeah.
Oh, Red Skelton. He was in the 60s.
Oh, I loved Red Skelton. You can still find bits of his on YouTube.
I don't know if Jonathan Winters was around then.
Oh yeah, and Carol Burnett, Tim Conway.
Lucy.
I love Lucy. Well, they've still got a lot of black and white of her
Yeah.
and stuff. She was in the 50s and 60s. Ozzie and Harriet was, I
I
think,
remember there was a TV show called Paladin.
yeah. And that was with Jack Palance.
No, it wasn't Jack Palance.
Who wasn't? Who was it?
He played on Big Jake.
Big Jake was,
He was
oh, Richard Boone.
Right.
Richard
Okay,
Boone.
let me tell you a true story about this. I probably told you this before. But
Where do you get education?
okay, I probably was maybe 12, 13 years old. So be in the late 60s.
Okay.
Monty was, well, he wasn't, I must have been about 10. Because Monty was like 17 or 18 years old. We had a neighbor, him and his wife lived there. He worked at Ford Garage. That's when Wendell Ford Garage is down there where that welding shop is.
Okay.
Down by where we used to live. He had gotten out of the Navy and he was a mechanic down there. Well, Monty had run across these 3 or 4 guys in a station wagon out of state. The car broke down. Well, he pulled them into town. I think he pulled them over, I don't know if he pulled them over to our house or if he pulled them over to our neighbor guy. And it was on a Sunday or Saturday afternoon. But they ended up pulling the car down to the garage, and he went down there and he had a part down there that would fit on it to get it running. Well, they gave him a record, and these were the guys. The record was the song Paladin, and on the backside was something else. These guys recorded that song.
Oh! I don't suppose you remember who they were.
No, I don't remember the name of the
Hmm.
band, but
Well-
they were the recording artists of that song.
Yeah.
And old Sandy, she come down there, she was all excited, and she says, "You gotta listen to this, you gotta see this." Well, she put it on there, and she says, "That's who these guys were."
I do remember the Paladin with Richard Boone. My problem is we were down, well, you can ask him, we were really out in the sticks where I grew up. And the only things that reached our house, because it was all antennas back then, mostly was Channel 13 Topeka. so we could watch whatever was on there. And a lot of these shows, I remember from watching them in the 70s on reruns. You can still watch some of them today on the Me network, but Nickelodeon has kind of gotten more into the, I don't know, 80s and 90s era now. But you can still watch Gilligan's Island and those. Petticoat Junction if you're up at like 5:30.
I remember Petticoat Junction.
Yep.
And Green Acres.
Green Acres.
I don't know if that was in the 60s or 70s.
I don't know. There were both black and white and color episodes, all of those. So I think they were probably 60s. Ed Sullivan.
Yeah. That was the first time I ever saw Elvis on TV. First time I ever seen the Beatles.
Elvis Presley. And I'm sure your generation, like everybody else, has heard of Elvis Presley, even though he died in 76, right?
6 or 7.
Anyway, he died. And there, to this day, there's people who still say they see him, but it's like they see him like he was then. It's like, I don't hardly think so. But, oh, they have Michael Jackson sightings yet. It's ridiculous. Elvis' first TV appearance was on the Ed Sullivan Show. And back then, most of them, if they danced at all while they were singing, it was a sidestep and back or something. You know, there wasn't a lot of moving around. And Elvis gets up there they talked about how his hips were gyrating, and it was like, get him off of that show. That's not fit for children to see. Then they wanted to get rid of rock and roll altogether. Rock and roll was just becoming into its heyday.
And Herman's Hermits.
Herman's Hermits, yes.
He was on that song too.
Mm-hmm.
Or they were.
Yeah.
The Monkees.
The Monkees. The Monkees were not an actual band until the show. They put them together for that show. And then they stayed together after that. But
There's a lot of bands.
There were. And Joe still loves that music. I do too. I still love the music of that time. John Lennon, he was killed in what, 80?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah. He was one of the... I think Paul McCartney might be the only one still alive. Oh, Ringo Starr. He was the drummer. He's still around. Mm-hmm. Don't see much of him, but he's still around. But... no, that was the British invasion of the 60s was when the Beatles came. Some of the movies of that day were Voyage to the Center of the Earth. Maybe. I don't know, Green Beret I think was 70s. Because that was about Vietnam. A lot of the songs were protest songs, like One Tin Soldier and that war, because of the Vietnam War.
A lot more motorcycle gang movies.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Hell's Angels.
Hell's Angels with Peter Fonda.
Tom Laughlin.
Mm-hmm.
Billy Jack.
Oh, Billy Jack, yeah.
Was that 70s or 60s?
It was late 60s, early 70s. I don't know. I remember going to the movie with my friends. Bless the Beast and the Children. That movie never really got as much, you know, at the time, I think it got quite a bit of watching that and, well, and Billy Jack too. But they kind of, their age, just the era that they were in and that they were portraying just kind of wore out because they were more or less protest movies. And people decided to protest other things. Oh, here's some walkers. Oh, are these the ones you saw earlier?
No, I don't think so.
One's walking a baby in her stroller, and the other one's got somebody's, oh, it's a family, it's a guy. He's just a small guy. He's got a beard and mustache. Little girl's all dressed up.
I've seen them before, but I have no idea who they are, where they're from.
No, we don't neighbor as much as we should on this block, but of course, who knows, they may be walking from quite a ways. So, it's a day to be out for a nice long walk for those who can. Well, we've enjoyed this. I hope you have too. This is the Fralins, Joel and Glenda, and we will see you tomorrow, or at least I will. And please do subscribe, click on the notification bell, give us a thumbs up, and remember, when you're out and about, smile and wave, or go up and say hi.
Hola!
Hola! There you go.
Hola!
And we'll see you. Thank you for your visit.